Hello and welcome back to the Due Process League preseason tournament. We're here on day 2 of the event. Yesterday, seeing 2 fantastic games played. Radis versus Nakudama, and then Ozpooz as well faced off against Frogs. Today, we're back with some quarterfinals games, and here to do some casting with me, of course, Nog here in my classic tie-dye. I've got Quinn, a new face on the broadcast. Welcome, Quinn. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm pretty excited. I've been, playing this game for, only a couple months now, but man, I'm very excited to jump into these games. I think there's a lot of potential for some of these teams to really show up today and just do some crazy stuff. I'm new to the scene, obviously. Obviously, you have a lot more knowledge, in terms of these rosters and what they bring. But I really want to hone in on some of these teams once we get into the game of the experience that they have. And I'm just ready to see it, man. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, I could just jump right into talking about the 2 teams we're watching in this first game of the day, Arise versus Yakuza. We have the 2 teams that are, I would say, probably favored to win this tournament. The winner of this game is most likely to win the whole thing, I would imagine, based on the lineups. Yeah, for Arise, I mean, what a monster roster. Sachi, Juker, Lacking, Zigolo, and Noon. 3 of those players are within the top 5 of the leaderboard, those being Zigolo, Noon, and Juker. And then on the side of Yakuza, of course, Tommy, another contender for GOAT of this game. He's such a phenomenal player, always at the top of the leaderboard on that Yakuza roster. And backed up by Ghetto and Diagray, who have been playing, that trio have played so much together. Their coordination, regardless of how much scrim time they generally get before a tournament, they're always going to be coordinated. And with Merchant and Jet backing them up, those are also 2 phenomenal players. This is going to be a great game today.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the other thing too to look at is when you come into this game, right? This is a game that hasn't been around for a long time, but it has some of those core mechanics that all these other games have, and people bring their past experiences into it. And I just really want to see how the teams kind of orchestrate around that ability to actually draw on the map. So once we start looking at these games, I really want to see how they utilize that in the team play and actually execute these plays going in, actually using the correct util at the right time. Obviously, as a lot of people know, this is not a hero shooter, so there's a lot of little things that I feel like you can really kind of micro and macro kind of make plays on. And something that's exciting too is with all the weapons in the game, I feel like there's kind of a large dynamic for different types of strats to be called, things to be changed up on maps, and with all of the really cool kind of mechanics of this game, like the procedurally generated maps. I think that also adds another layer on it. Sometimes it throws little angles off. Sometimes it may make a player feel a little uncomfortable on a spot that they thought they were used to. So yeah, very excited for this. Like I said, I'm new. Thank you guys for welcoming me. And also to let you guys know, the game is on sale on Steam, or you can go pick it up over there. Like I said, it's a great game.
QR code.
Really amazing. For real, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you've never played it, it gave me that old school feeling of when you played like 5v5 shooter with your buddies, like Search and Destroy back in the day in COD, OG Valorant, or like any of those times where the game just felt really fun. And back in those days with not too much going on, it's the perfect feeling for a game. It's cheap, pick it up, try it out with some buddies, and yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and the QR code on screen now does actually take you to the Steam page instead of the homepage of Wikipedia now. So we got that figured out. You'll be going to the right spot, so you can actually buy the game if you'd like, and keep watching the stream. We have it on Steam going as well. So if you head over there, get the game, keep watching the stream. It looks like we're probably going to be jumping into game here pretty soon. We got these teams have their rosters all in lobby, so I imagine they'll get the go ahead to go forward. I want to do a little bit more Tommy glazing though before we get into the game, because this guy, I mean, the last event that was hosted for Due Process was the charity tournament, and during that, in my opinion, Tommy was the most consistent and best player throughout the entirety of the tournament. Always at the top of his team's leaderboard, basically every game. He's such a fantastic AP player and just gunner. It's I don't know, just watching him is beautiful. Genuinely, it's like artwork being made. So I'm really excited to see Tommy play again today against Another strong roster. The last team that I watched them play against was Greatest in that charity tournament, and of course the Yakuza team did lose in that best of 3 in the finals, but they're back here today. I'm excited to see some gunplay from Tommy amongst many of the players on this Arise roster.
So let me go ahead and ask you a question, Nog. Out of all the teams we see here left in the tournament in these upcoming matches, who would you say is maybe like an underdog, someone that you'd think, man, this player on the squad might actually be able to pop off and turn the tides and win some of these games? You know, go ahead and give me your thoughts on that.
Well, of course, I may be biased, but I think Frogs is a bit of an underdog, a bit of a dark horse here. I think they have the potential to take this tournament if they have some really good games in the finals. They have a little bit of an easier bracket than the rest of the teams, I would say. Like Arise and Yakuza, of course, have to play each other. But I think on the top side of the bracket, Frogs might be that underdog you're asking about.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Loading into game now, actually.
Well, let's go.
About to get things started. Sure, we'll see a beautiful transition here real soon to get this going.
I'm pretty excited to see what we have here.
Maps up on screen now. Starting out with Star Hammer, a factory map. Immediately, there's lots of drawing down towards the bottom side of the map on this dock. I've seen often a strategy of running to get this power straight away. They do have the double molly prep throw from the guy that will be standing on the dock to kind of stop this push. The power on this map can be quite nice to kind of shut off some of the longer angles from deeper in factory that some of these players can get. It also opens the fan, which you've seen defenders have drawn lines suggesting that they think the attackers will, this Arise team will kind of go in through the fan as well.
We got some banter here on screen already. I will choke from Zigolo. Playing tic-tac-toe here, getting some little banter in pre-game. Good for the vibe. Yeah, like you were saying, that control of getting the dock side of the map and actually turning off the lights actually could, hedge a huge advantage for the attackers with the night vision goggles being on that side. Now, if you guys don't know and you're not, used to a lot of the things in Due Process, one of the cool things about the game is when someone dies and drops their loadout, you can actually pick it up. So if these attackers go in there, turning off the lights, thinking that they're going to be, sneak 100 rats, they got to really be careful with dropping their loadouts on the ground, because that night vision goggle could really turn the tide the other way if the other team isn't careful. So yeah, I want to see how they use that this round again, because it's one of the maps where you can really take advantage of that switch right off the bat.
It looks like they actually have pivoted their strategy. They're going to avoid dock now. They don't think the power is worth it necessarily. They're going to blow this Toxic up on the north side, which does have a very strong position later in the round to defend the bomb. So it makes sense. They're going to push up into office where this mop is sitting. This Jets has a mop out, and Merchant's kind of playing just right next to him. Pretty spread on the side of Yakuza on this defense. So we'll see if they'll be able to slow down this push, really.
Ooh, nades going out. They're pushing in. Looks like they're looking into the office for some kills. Nothing found yet. He's pushing up the stairs, looking for something. Nade goes out. Flash goes out. Going through the barbed wire. Gets absolutely mowed down. Crossfire. Sniper's coming down over the top. Reposition here. Merchant dead. Looks like Jet was on Zigolo there as well. Got a pretty nice kill to take control of the office space. And this leaves the map open. Another kill. Ghetto absolutely gets destroyed. Noon for another trade back. The molly is actually going to slow the round down a little bit here, Nog.
Ooh. Yeah, defender's actually in a pretty good position right now, I would say. The attackers are pretty low. They've got 2 heavy damage long-range weapons. Ghetto with the Ingmar. Ooh, taken down by Noon, though. What a great spray. Now it's just up to Jet, actually.
Nasty stuff. Ghetto going in looking for some kills, too. Noon, actually. My bad. And this is the thing about this map, too. The sniper posted up on Jet actually could do so much because the spacing is there, and he hits a nasty shot. He's repositioning, looking for a kill, taking out the pistol. Oh my gosh, got absolutely wasted there. That's a nice play right there to kind of turn the tide of the round back in the favor of Jet. Good stuff there.
Yeah. That was a very good slow push by Sachi there to kind of try and catch Jet out while he's watching where Noon is going to be dropping out of the office, but Jet takes out Noon and gets out of the line of fire of Sachi before he can actually before he gets killed, and is able to take down Sachi with the pistol after he whipped that out. Very well played from Jet there to get a 3K to seal the round at the end. Yeah.
So
Very
what's
nicely
your
played. Onto the dome now?
What's your take on this team's ability to kind of jump in here on these different type of maps? Obviously, we know it's procedurally generated, but some of the map knowledge is obviously still very strong for some of these teams. So what are you thinking about this map right here?
This map, I am seeing already what is pretty standard, which is a torch onto this castle door. A lot of teams will play on the defensive side with the power off so that the beach can't just run up, open the door here and push through this castle, and are forced to take a torch to get in. But I also like the adjustment. I don't see this too much where pit is blown as well. Most of the times it's a 5-man beach push to kind of secure castle, secure long angles. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of a 50-50. But blowing the pit is going to allow access to the power, which potentially they can just control to keep off. Sometimes defenders will play power off, turn it back on once they get into the castle, so they can't NVGs. Really. So the pit blow could be pretty beneficial for the attackers to keep that power off the entirety of the round.
Yeah, that could be absolutely huge, and something that also that you want to watch for, just from my experience playing the game too. Like you said, great analysis of how this map kind of breaks down. But this beachfront is really a dangerous part of the map. If people don't really focus on this part of the map and really over rotate, the beach can be really dangerous. Attackers can run straight up that, throw smokes, take control really fast, and kind of snowball the round. So the defense has got to be on the watch for that. And as you can see, a lot of these longer range weapons coming out of this map instead of the shorter range ones. So
basically every long range weapon that they can have is brought out here by Yakuza. The 2 Lagroses, they really like to bring the Lagroses together. I've noticed whenever one person has one, there's generally someone else with one. Sometimes they'll even bring all 3. There goes the power. They do turn it off. Going to force the attackers to torch that door, of course. The pit blow coming down now as we are truly in the execution phase.
Here we go. It looks like Sachi's posted up on this angle. Molly down, kind of slowing down the round. As you can see, these NVG's night vision goggles are on one of our players. The lights are turned off. Like I said, someone's rushing the beach looking for that map control. It's difficult to see, though. It's dark. There's people running around, and something crazy is about to happen. This guy looks like he's about to make a play. Daga here, and something being popped open here right there by the torch gun. Looks like Junker's posted up on this angle looking at well here.
Yeah, castle is open, but there's no one in there for them to secure a kill on the side of the attackers, and the push is kind of slowed down a little bit. Oh, just kidding. Tommy going down now. That'll give the attackers a good chance to push up here.
And again, this map can be so dangerous on those long angles, and seeing some of these players posted up on, like you said, all these long range weapons they're pulling out the whole 9 in terms of their weaponry to try to get these long range fights before they actually push in and try to retake the site. Because that's one thing with this map I've noticed is once you actually get control of that bomb, and the long range weapons do really fall off on these shorter angles.
Ziggler with a really strong weapon here now, and full HP, just down to the Jet with the mop now, which is gonna be really hard for him.
Ooh, going in with the NVGs, trying to find a pick here underneath the stairs.
Flashed, it's over.
Let's see if he finds something pushing up. Ooh, absolutely takes him down, and it looks like Arise is going to take that round.
Yeah. Well played by Ziggler at the end. Oh, an ace! Holy moly! I didn't even notice.
Oh, I didn't even notice that either. We were too.
5 kills in a row. Yeah.
Going absolutely crazy.
Very well played by Zig. Brought down pretty low at the end. All the attackers. But with just the mop and the pistol, Jet was in such a rough position. He got flashed there at the end. He couldn't really do much. You probably didn't even see Ziggler when he rounded the corner to get that final kill. Great gunplay by Ziggler. Great gunplay by the side of Arise, I would say. Diagre had a pretty strong position there, and they didn't really know he was there. But with the Lagros, he can't do a whole lot. He got maybe 3 shots down after later in that round, but it wasn't enough to turn the tide of the round, it seemed.
Yeah, and the other thing too that's nice about this game is all the utility has a lot of impact. When you throw a grenade on the map, walls kind of shake, things kind of get disrupted. Flashbangs are very, very strong. Smokes are, a huge tool to kind of get in and take map control in space. And obviously defenders too have that with the fire extinguishers. So yeah, some of these pieces of utility are going to be really key for kind of finishing out some of these maps and really trying to take some of this map control here, especially on this map. As you know, this can be a very hard map to win on the attack. It's very defender sided, in my opinion, here.
This one here, yeah, Ironclad Archer. I don't know that I have actually seen this map before. This might be my first time, and instantly I did see this line drawn from the defenders, expecting that wall charger to come out through green to blow straight into server so they can get that button very fast. But it looks like the attackers want to do a 4-1 split, just one guy going entrance to draw attention, while the rest of the 4 go accounting, secure that vault position before pushing in. I imagine through loans, kind of through lobby might be avoided entirely. Looking at this, this is going to be kind of a long run for them to get to the button here from either side. Because they have to go through either all of lobby and teller to get in, or they have to go all the way through loans, through the hall, which is a long way around.
Yeah, honestly, to that button. Honestly, something that I like doing on this map that I find a lot of good teams actually try to do is they'll try to put a lot of pressure on that front entrance, pulling all these players towards tellers, pulling all these players towards lobby, trying to get them off the angles on the other side of the map, you know, try to take that server room as quick as you can. Because again, the timer, you know, it is literally the lifeblood of the game. If you don't get in there and press that button and open up to get to the vault, it is very difficult to win this map.
Yeah, I did see a line drawn here from Sachi, I think, drew it. So they might be expecting someone to be in manager, which if they do kind of break this accounting door, it'll be pretty easy push, I think, for them to get the guys that are playing in manager or even just outside of it. Door charge is going to be blown here soon. Oh, it looks like you can just jump up on that dumpster even to get shots inside. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's looking nasty.
On to execute now, pushing in. Shit. Taken down very quick there by the shotgun from Juker.
That's kind of unfortunate. That's a big player to lose at the beginning of one of these rounds.
Traded back though. Ziglo died outside of the front. Tommy now defending loans by himself. Ghetto getting taken down as well by lacking there.
Ooh.
Just a 3v4 now. Attacker side health advantage for sure.
Yeah, this area is a really dangerous part of the map. Like you said, close range shotguns can be a really big problem, especially taking this part. And it looks like they're trying to spray through the door, trying to find a pick. And it looks like someone does get tagged up a little bit. Another kill goes out. Ghetto actually getting taken out here. And as you can see, that whole wall right there, that whole window is bulletproof. And they're kind of just, you know, spot checking to see what's going on that other side. Oh my gosh, running out and actually trying to get picks with the auto shotty. It wasn't... Oh my gosh, Lacking is actually going freaking ballistic here, taking everyone out.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care.
Juker stealing the ace onto Jet
at the
beginning of the round. Yeah, that was a quick round. I guess pushing through that hall wasn't too bad. They played out lobby well. They got the pick on Ghetto, who was defending the teller side. They got that really early kill on Jet. He couldn't do anything. I think it was full flashed. And then pushing through that teller, they were able to shoot Tommy as he was kind of taking a head glitch on that loans desk to try and shoot him in the back as they were running down that hall. But the attackers just had their guns up at the right times. They placed their flashes well. They didn't even use all of their utility. They have a grenade and a flash still in their inventory that they won't get to use as we're switching over to the next set of rounds. But that looks really good from
really nice.
Arise there. Yeah.
I really like the way some of these teams are not trying to like overheat too much and do too much. I really like how you can see kind of some of the patience coming out. And then right when that utility goes down, right when it's dropped, you're seeing the teams activate, going for those swings, look for those picks, and really understand that map control. So I want to see more of what these teams are trying to accomplish here in terms of map control.
Yeah. Back onto the Star Hammer map. The attackers did not instantly place anything down on the docks this time. We have lines drawn from Fan of that angle that they can take to watch it. A circle on the dock door, but no charge place. So it looks like maybe they will be thinking about this dock push for the power, which is, again, very quick. You can kind of get a molly down in this section where the power is. There's a little bit of a pit there that makes it a little harder for the attackers to push in to get that power right away, and you can have someone playing close or something, and then even someone anti-flashing. But of course, this green dorm is a little bit difficult because you can't be seen here.
Yeah,
the outside.
I think a big thing on this map is coming over here, obviously, and getting control of this vent here and really trying to exploit these angles that are available to you once you open it up in these sight lines.
Mhm.
And all these spots right here in these corners, like I said, you post up on a long range gun or a sniper on the attack, and you're talking a ton of map control for your team to actually push
Yeah.
in from docks and secure that space and jump on bomb. So yeah, again, I'm interested to see how these teams are going to play, these rounds with all the utility. Obviously, coming in fresh on the
Yeah.
defense, the defense has every piece of util they could ever want. I'm assuming that a lot of mollies are going to be in play here. It looks like only one's being picked up.
They only have one in inventory right now. They probably don't want to commit too many to this first initial play. There's a couple smokes coming down and lots of flashes on this dock, so they're going all in for this dock, for this power here on the side of Yakuza. 3 are going dock, it looks like. I don't know if this is a 1 written by the fan or not, or if they're sending 2 in green perhaps, but the 3 is the only number I see on the map. Going into execute now. Juker with a shotgun by the green door. He's going to try and get a kill here as they kick it open. We'll see if that works out for him.
And it looks like Juker's actually pushed it up on this, looking to see if he can get an early pick with that shotgun. That gun is absolutely incredible for these close range fights. And it looks like Jett is getting dangerously close to that window. Looks like he just about misses it. And they do want to go ahead and take control of this whole dock side of the map. Merchant also back on that door. Juker looking for a pick. Smokes out.
Hardly took any damage there. There goes the first molly to slow down the push.
And like I said, look how
locking.
essential these mollies are to cutting all this time off the clock and really slowing this team down. And now you can see Merchant on the left side. Actually, Dagar gets picked off. They're pushing in. Ghetto also eliminated. Lacking also taken out. Jett is repositioning to the right side of the map. Tommy also decides to see if he can jump in there and try to see if he can get a pick. Zigolo dead. He's also going for Junker. Junker also gets destroyed. Noon, he's got to hold it down from this position. He's the last one left up in the corner of the map. Actually, Sachi's also alive.
Well. None of them
And how
really
are they
have
gonna
line
do
of sight
this?
onto that power with that smoke there. Now that the smoke's gone, Noon can see.
And Noon popping off some shots, seeing if he can take out Tommy here, but Noon actually
Tommy's
gets
got 4.
popped.
Opened it
Jett
for
pushing
Jett.
in.
Yeah, Sachi's in a good spot. He could get a pick on Jett here. I don't know if Jett even knows where he is.
So this is a nasty angle, but Jett knows about it.
Kidding?
Jett, he finishes it. Jett just went absolutely crazy right there. The awareness
Very
is
low on
huge from
Jett,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, some of these top corner vents positions on the pipes
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely disgusting if you can get there early enough and get yourself situated. And man, yeah, they play that beautifully. Really messy here on docks. I really didn't think that many would die right off the bat from the defense, but
Yeah.
it looks like they really wanted to lean in and take those close range fights, but they just weren't able to finish them.
Yeah, Zigolo played that really well at the beginning to get the 2 frags on the people pushing in right away, playing around the edges of the smoke. But Tommy traded back 2 rather quickly and even got the 3rd on the shotgun as he was trying to get up close to the dock open. Noon traded back onto Merchant, but Merchant had done enough damage that Tommy was able to take him down pretty easily. And then Jett, good critical thinking skills at the end to be like, this is the only place this guy can be, I think, and checking it and securing the kill at the end as well. Back to the beautiful dome. Love this map. Of course, this is the singular pig. Just one. Just the one little guy. Back onto this map. I imagine we're going to see something pretty similar here. Quinn, with the torch on the capsule door. Perhaps a pit blow to secure that power. And then deeper play from the defenders, maybe some early peaks on the base. But I can't imagine they're going to switch things up too much here. There's no drawing from the attackers yet, so we don't know the plan. Oh, there we go. They're going to charge it, actually, instead of torching, which I don't know. I guess torching takes longer. They delete the charge now, so maybe they have changed their mind. I don't feel like a charge is necessary, personally, to get into that castle. I suppose it would take out the barbed wire that they would have placed there, so it makes it a little easier to play. And if there are people playing in castle, like Arise has put down the little play circles, then it might be good to blow. But I think a torch and a flash can kind of just clear that for you, especially because sitting outside the door, you can just see the guy right here. And you only really need this guy to be flashed, I imagine, when you're pushing in.
Yeah, again, these teams are being very considerate with the util they're putting down and making sure they have enough for the next rounds that are coming forward. Because again, You die and you drop that util on you and it's not used, it's a huge detriment to your team in the later rounds.
2-2 in rounds now as you go into the fifth. This has been a pretty even game. Some of the rounds have been a little bit more one-sided than others, but these teams are relatively even in skill, it seems, having kind of these back and forth rounds. I think it was attackers that won the last round on this map, so if Yakuza is able to do the same, that would be good to see in the case of consistency and equality in team skill. But if the defenders manage to push this one or win this one on the side of Arise, I think that'll be a good momentum shift for them. They are going to charge this door, it seems. They have the charge, they have the clack in hand, so no split push on this map, just 5 in going to this castle.
And it looks like they're actually pushing the beach 5-man, and actually Zigolo gets a huge pick on the Merchant off the close angle with that shotgun. Jet's looking to trade him. Tommy, Degar pushing in, taking out Lacking. Juker's nice. On the close angle. Sachi's on the close angle, takes out Degar. Tommy looking for a pick on Juker, takes out Juker, pushing up to that window, looking if he can take more space. Jet is also still in the same spot, watching the back angle on beach. Tommy and Ghetto also are posted up here, and man, that was pretty crazy right there. That's something that,
yeah.
Again, I want to see more plays like that, man. Fast executes are huge in this game.
Yeah, attackers have slowed down quite a bit now. Zigolo and Jet locked in this battle of fates down here, just staring at each other without any vision. Just being as safe as possible. Tommy got really low there, but he is going to try and sneak up around to this pit kind of perch door that Sachi is watching. Maybe kicking it'll kind of pull him away. I think he might just get picked off if he does end up kicking it.
Yeah, Sachi's right here. Sachi's watching this door and he's turning around. Here's the flash. Tommy
good.
Kicking open the door, pushing him. Oh my gosh, but Sachi's ready for it. Ghetto trying to get the trade. Sachi's underneath. Ghetto on top. Jet also in close ranged fight with Zigolo. Oh my gosh, the crossfires are nasty. Noon has also got the backup here. The bomb's gonna go off soon though. He only got 25 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds to get
onto it. Sachi dead. Zigolo getting Ghetto. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do there. That shotgun is absolutely lethal in these late rounds where you have to push, you have to get to the bomb. Nasty work by Zigolo there. Nasty work by the defense.
Really well played by Zigolo. Super patient with that gun. He'd had only that option to kind of stay close there, and drawing the attention of Jet most of the round made it so basically the rest of Yakuza was fighting without Overwatch from the Saber there. And Arise able to capitalize on that and take some 1v1s that otherwise might have been a little bit harder if Zigolo was not putting so much pressure on the Saber player there on beach.
Yeah, no. Again, those type of plays 100% are truly viable. But at the same time, when you're pushing and giving that much information to the enemy team, they're going to rotate. They're going to post up on angles. They're going to really get ready for that kind of push, because in this game, those kinds of pushes are so lethal if not dealt with correctly. And you can see here, now that they're in this position over here, they're trying to kind of cook up something different. As you can see, the satchel charges are, the clacker and the charge is going to go up to that right side of the map and trying to open up accounting. And if they do take accounting, again, they have access to vault. They have that crossfire and manager and loans. Really, really nice there. So if they can do that, that'll be huge for this side.
Yeah, it's going to be a similar attack from Yakuza as Arise had performed, but Arise certainly more prepared for this attack than Yakuza was. They've shield marked for pushing in through loans. There's lots of barbs going down into counting. There's one even at entrance, so 4 barb play. 4 barbs were left for the defenders, it seems, to use on this map. Lots of strong positions they have drawn out from the side of the defenders in accounting and in manager to watch, and in loans to get a long angle. They're gonna have lots of crossfires onto these barbs that this Yakuza team is gonna have to push through. I do like the flash into manager to take out one line of sight.
Very, very nice. And again, you got to take advantage of these different map mechanics, right? These windows outside provide a lot of different options for these attackers to util dump into these rooms so that they can take the space. And it looks like Sachi's actually going to be posted up there on a kind of a weird angle on this window onto that door that's looking to get charged open. And it looks like Tommy, Daigar, and Jet are all here, and Jet's posted up on a really weird angle on this car up here. I wonder what that looks like from his POV.
He can probably, I think he can probably see in all the way to manager. Yeah, I popped into the first person view there. He can't see all the way to manager. He doesn't have the
angle, man.
shotgun. Put Tommy on that. Might be able to see that Sachi player.
Flashbang going out. Molly traded for that.
That was one flash, maybe just one going down for Yakuza. Oh, maybe even two.
And they're pushing in going in manager. The right shield. Yeah.
Oh, Sachi going down to the nade. Well done. I actually just now realized. Oops, sorry.
There's a huge fight taking place here, man.
Yeah. They just got a lot. 3 sprayed down very fast with that auto shotty with that knack. Tigray just alone in here now.
This is going to make it really difficult now for the attack. There was a lot on the line there, and they did not get the picks. But as you can see, Ghetto was in the front lobby trying to get a kill onto Noon here. And I would say he has the better weaponry to do it as well, as long as he stays at range. He's pushing back over here, looking for... He's flanking. Juker sees him, though, spots him, absolutely destroys him. And it looks like the defenders are going to take this to 4 points now and towards their win here on the match. And man, that was crazy. I really did think that Jet getting up on the angle would maybe find something, but no, in the end, they were forced to just push through that door. And that seemed like a really difficult time for the attackers.
Yeah, the defenders are really set up for that push. So pushing through that is going to be very, very difficult. They had the 2 nades. One of them was used to kill Sachi in the manager room, but Tommy, I don't even think through the second nade. I could be wrong about that. So there was an opportunity for him to clear out some barb and maybe even get a kill with it. But it did never come out. Unfortunately, the defense was just so strong from Arise that Yakuza didn't even really get a chance to get into accounting truly. They never had control over any space in the map, as far as I saw that round.
Yeah, and that's
finally a C-store.
Yeah, no. This is going to be a nice map to see because it's more concise. It's very shorter angles to play, very fast paced, and again, you got to really look at how these teams are utilizing all their utility on defense and attack, but especially for the attackers right now, because it seems like the defense is really just shutting everything down right now and just making it so hard for them to get any space anywhere.
It does look like they're going to torch this entrance, so they'll have lots of POV line of sight onto that liquor door and storefront. I actually did initially like that wall charge placed down to get into liquor. It would be very fast. You get a lot of space and you can watch your flank from on top of the roof, so you don't even actually need to be in the building to prevent flanks there. Torch was deleted from the storefront, but they have 4 written in office, so I would imagine they are still planning to do that. This liquor bomb can be kind of difficult to get into, especially because you need to hit the button to kind of open this door here, open the shutters into liquor. And you know, if power is shut off by the defenders, then you just have to go around through freezer and through arcade to get in because they can't. Yeah, there goes the wall charge down. They decide we don't want to have to deal with this button and power getting turned off and not actually being able to get into liquor. So we're just going to blow into liquor to secure that space, which I think is the right play for them.
And real quick, I want to draw some attention to this freezer part of the map like you were talking about. I just saw 2 Molly pings come down. If the attacker team decides to really lean into that, that's going to be really hard. And it looks like they're making the right decision. They're going through office instead.
Yeah, the defenders haven't really drawn anything that would indicate they're expecting a wall charge on the side of the attackers into that office. But it is going down now. They don't have really anyone watching this liquor. This might be very good for the attackers. They could get a quick execute into this room and just take space, really.
Yeah, they're going to open up this wall and absolutely disrupt the defense's ability to hold this room. And it looks like there's a lot of people actually backing up, respecting the space of the attackers. Zigalo is posted up on this barbed wire, though. This could be devastating if they do not clear him correctly. That gun is absolutely disgusting. Smoke going down. Wall gets opened up.
Wall charge. I'm. Juker did kill Merchant out front. Very impressive there. Jet trading back on a Zig with that shotgun. The flank from Noon.
Ooh.
Very good position. Ooh. Looking
really nice play.
Pretty rough for Yakuza actually now all of a sudden.
Yeah, this attack is going to start to fall apart if they don't take some more space. 45 seconds left on the clock here. Sachi and Lacking holding down storefront. Junker all the way towards entrance. Noon in bathrooms. They have so much map control in the internal part of the map.
I have all these angles on the bombs too. So they can just hold these positions and prevent the defuse here.
Yeah, and look at Sachi's positioning. He is in a really good spot to kind of go around and take this as soon as they get on the bomb. And it looks like they're denying them. Tommy down, Ghetto also in this crossfire. He gets absolutely destroyed from behind though. Noon holding it down. Defenders will take the round. Huge play from Arise.
The frag onto Merchant by Juker there at the start to take out that vision from outside storefront was huge. It prevented Jet from having support as he was pushing into that storefront with the shotgun and allowed so many positions for the defenders to play on in that storefront to prevent a defuse. I think that frag was kind of the key frag that allowed the defenders to win that round. Merchant I think he had a Black Tar in hands. I could be wrong. But Juker just probably double dinking him with the Legros to take him out that quick.
I
wish I saw the POV of that.
Like you were saying, without that support from the back to actually take out and actually kind of clear some space and be the spearhead, Jet's not actually able to do his job. And as soon as that pick kind of goes down in the books, the defense just really is jumping all over the map to try to patch up some holes, make sure you're not getting flanked, make sure the game plan is still the same, and making sure that you're able to keep that map control around bombs. So that was really, really nice. And I'm curious to see what the attack's going to do now, because I could only imagine that they're running out of a ton of util after literally using so much in these last two rounds for absolutely nothing. And as you can see here, there's a lot of pings going on around the map. Someone is doing some artwork here on the map, it looks like. I don't really know what's going on there. But there is a lot of exclamation marks going out for spots I'm assuming are for lineups or maybe some barbed wire, but
yeah,
I don't know if that would make sense for the barbed wire because you could just drag it over. So I'm interested to see what that's about.
This map generally, I see a lot of wall charges come down on this map to kind of get this space while people are pushing up into stage. Some people will decide to torch this window so they don't have to kick this door. Some people do like to go hall and just spam onto stage and stuff from the back here. This spot is, of course, very strong on the north side of the map that there is a defender position drawn. This map can be... I've seen it go both ways. I don't know if I would really call this map defender or attacker sided. I would say that it's relatively even if the attackers are playing intelligently. But great barb positions. They only use 2 on this map. We are 5-2 in the scoreboard. So if Arise win this, it's at least a tie game for them. And much like the game I casted yesterday, 5-2. Very, very difficult battle for Yakuza to come back and win this game, just straight up.
Yeah, and if there was any time for Jet and his buddies here on Yakuza to wake up and do something, it would be right now. Like you said, if they don't win this round, it's going to go to a tie, and it looks like they're pushing in fast. Noon gets traded out here. Actually, not traded. He just gets taken out. I thought there was a pick on the attacker side, but it looks like they're holding this front reception space very well here.
Yeah, they got some pretty good damage down on the Sachi, who's playing up on stage, but they've also spammed very well onto the side of the attackers. So just a lot of chip damage kind of coming down early. There goes the barbed wire. There hasn't really been a true execute yet. It's just kind of back and forth spamming, using of ammo.
A lot of
could be beneficial for the attackers to waste all the ammo of the defenders in this scenario.
Yeah, and this is giving a lot of information.
They're probably going to start holding off a little bit more.
This is giving a lot of information to the attackers, but they still get absolutely gunned down by Noon, crossing over to the angle. Tommy wants to trade it back. Tommy trades it back. Noon gets pushed down. Nagar looking into the lockers. But Sachi and Junker are still so close, and that auto shotgun is so dangerous at that range.
Yeah, he's in the smoke too. With the shotgun. Kind of scary. Oh, Lacking in a really weird spot. He's on top of that piece of cement there.
Oh my gosh. Junker
fast,
just went absolutely disgusting in the smoke with Lacking holding on the crossfire there. Nice play there by the defense, and it looks like this map will, no matter what, end in a tie.
Yeah, they it looks like the attackers didn't really have flashes left to execute into the club there. They didn't have they got a molly down at the back of the site, so it shut off some positioning, but no one was really playing there. And there weren't any flashes to blind the defenders or stop them from just having all these crossfires onto the space that the attackers are pushing in from.
Yeah, and something I want to kind of give note to here is I feel like Yakuza was honestly kind of lost in the mid round there. I'm honestly curious what's going on with their calling, because there's a lot of other options that they had on that left side to kind of slow the round down, ping some of those positions out, and give a little spray back. I know there was a lot of bullet exchange, but I don't think it was actually necessarily as calculated as it could have been, if that makes sense. And this might be a problem here for Yakuza.
Yeah, well, we are going into potentially the final round of the game, round 9 here. So the teams are going to be bringing out the rest of their utility on both sides. Charge onto the office green door. I like. Can break a barb if it's there. They do have, I guess, 2 charges available for the attackers. Yeah, it does look like it. I guess they did green that last round. The wall going down on the C-store. So they're going to do a split. Someone's going fan, probably Saber, I would imagine. I don't know if they have it. I think they probably should. I don't think they brought it.
Yeah,
one on that C-store.
Yeah, again, with this util being used in the correct way, I think this map really kind of opens up the best when you start at docks. Kind of put that pressure on the map and kind of have people lean in, so you can actually put people in these certain positions to stay on these sight lines, like near server farm, all that stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be really difficult.
The Saber for Jet. I'd like to see whoever is playing on fan to kind of be blowing late, or it looks like Juker very close to being killed there by the UAV.
That was very sketch.
They'll just go green door. They're gonna kick that door, nade it, and then I imagine Jet is gonna sit outside and wait for the charge to go down on the green door, because otherwise they don't have a means to blow it. And then he'll play sort of slower towards the fan, but there is
crossfires being exchanged.
Oh, Jet really low off of that.
Yeah, that window was completely posted up on by Juker. Yeah.
There's no barbed wire on that office door, so that charge there is kind of going to be a little bit of a waste, but no one's even playing close enough for it to concuss or anything.
Yeah, Rise is actually backing up and trying to take a different kind of approach here to the map. They're actually giving up the space in server farm and letting them have it. Office is absolutely getting opened up here, but Molly goes down to kind of slow them.
Lots of damage done Diagri there. He took almost more than half HP from that Molly. Jet is now moving over to the fan, which Noon is watching.
He's posted up here. He's in a great spot. And this sightline from Office could spell trouble for the defense if they don't act accordingly. And Noon is in, like we said, he's in a good spot. But Jet is actually over here.
Noon could just die to this charge.
Yeah, Noon, if he's not aware, he could absolutely get
he doesn't know.
Thrown into the air. Ooh, Noon getting a pick though on Office. Like I said, it could be deadly either way. Crossfire being traded. Merchant dies. Noon gets picked off by Jet. Oh my gosh, Tommy with a beautiful shot.
Health advantage on the side of the defenders though.
And look at this angle that Jet's posted up on now.
Yeah. Oh, but Sachi, he looked the wrong way. Sachi able to take him down. Well, just up to Tommy now. Oh, and
there we go. We have the first match complete here, and it looks like Arise is gonna take the little monies to the bank and kind of cash it in, because that was absolutely nasty what they just did.
Yeah, a very clean 7-2 from Arise there, which the squad is very good. They are kind of pretty, they've got a lot of really strong players on that team. They got Juker, they got Zigolo, they have Noon, they have Sachi, they have Lacking. I mean, those are like 2 of those players I would consider to be the best that I have seen at this game, being in Juker and Lacking, and Zigolo is kind of up there now these days as one of the best players in the game too. It's just such a stacked roster. It's so hard to play against them, and I think they've probably had the most scrim time, the most ability to kind of prepare for this tournament of everyone that has been here. So it makes sense that they took this game so handedly, 7-2 against Yakuza. Which, moving on now, as we go, they will be advancing to the semifinals. We'll have another game coming to you very soon, but I mean, based on that performance from Arise, I would say they certainly are the favorites to win this tournament. And there's going to have to be some very good play from teams against them that, you know, might not necessarily be considered to be the best teams. They're going to have to step up to really take this tournament, I think, from Arise. It's looking like they have this one pretty handedly, perhaps even. They're looking very good.
Yeah, and something I want to kind of call attention to is I feel like on the attack rounds, Yakuza was literally so lost in some of these rounds, man. Like they got in, they opened shit up, they started dropping util, and then all of a sudden it's like they kind of freeze and they want to take these gunfights that aren't really there. So I want to see what they do going into this next kind of phase. Like we need to adapt a little bit, and I will give credit to Arise. Their defense looks very clean. These cross map angles that they're, you know, held on are providing so much space for the rest of the team to go out and make plays and be comfortable. And in any esport, when you have a team of people that have correct protocols, it's very difficult to beat teams like that. And it kind of seems like Arise is doing that.
Yeah, I would agree. Very tight defense, very well coordinated, really good gunplay from the side of Arise, eliminating Yakuza from the tournament here. We're going to go to break now. We will be back in a few minutes for our next match of the day. Another best of one, of course. We'll see y'all in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Thank
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to DPL League. Today, we've already had some really good games on the card, Arise versus Yakuza, but now we're going to switch over to Last Minute versus Tempo. This game looks pretty interesting as well. They got some really versed players on either side, and I'm just really excited to jump right into it.
Yeah, great players, both teams. Curious what the maps are, curious what the threats are. We got Roach. Roach is a known player, known by me as well. Played plenty of times with him. Good aim, good shotgun plays. The other ones are less familiar to me. Wouldn't you happen to know more about it, Quinn?
I'm gonna be straight up, man. I don't know much about a lot of these players on these teams, but what I do know from seeing the first game is if we get anything close to what we saw, the attack side in this game, in its current meta at least, is very difficult because I feel like the defense, if you have any kind of knowledge of where the enemy team is pushing into, retreating and retaking that space on the map and just holding those crossfires is so deadly, especially with these shotguns, DMRs. The weaponry is just off the freaking list. So yeah, I'm really curious what we're going to see here in terms of the strats, because the fast play is what has been working on attack.
Yeah, new players can prove themselves, I guess, these matches. Still, whilst defending, it's always so tempting just to peek around the corner trying to get that kill, but that's often what does it. So hopefully these teams can take it slow and play smart.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the other thing that's kind of a problem with some of these teams is, like I said before, not to call out Yakuza, but the mid rounding needs to actually be pretty decent to get into some of these maps and accomplish taking that map space. Because, like I said, all it takes is one molly, one smoke, someone to push up with a shotty, and you can make some crazy plays. So, yeah, I really hope we see kind of an evolution of some of these attack-sided rounds. To maybe start off a little slow and then pick up the tempo, get right in there.
We have seen attackers get 4Ks. I'm not sure if a 5K has happened yet, but some people, when they get the chance, they grab it and they go absolutely ham on the defender side, or if they're defenders on the attacking side.
Yeah, and I think it's something with this game that you have to realize is because, again, it's not like your typical hero shooter or anything like that where it has all these other crazy abilities. These players can really focus in on their gunplay and really try to go crazy on these weapons they put hours and hours and hours into. And so that shotgun that's in the game, that pump action shotgun, is so nasty for those close angles. And every time I see a player run into a smoke with one of those, I'm so ready to see something crazy. So yeah, I'm excited for this. Again, because the maps are procedurally generated, that also throws in a really, nice level of kind of skill base to the game in terms of which team is actually going to utilize that or not, on all these different maps. So,
yeah, the maps are very different from each other. They are procedurally generated, but checked and tweaked by our lovely devs, just to make sure that they are as fair as can be and don't have any broken geometry or angles.
Exactly.
That hasn't stopped any team from abusing potentially broken angles or geometry. But yeah. These teams know what they're doing, and when they see a map, they've probably played it before, because although they are randomly generated, there is a limited amount of maps in the game. So
exactly.
A lot of the more popular ones have
W developers. And speaking of developers, if you guys want to play a game that gives you that old school classic feeling of an FPS, go ahead and look at that QR code and go ahead and look up Due Process on Steam. It is a great game. I've already put about 50 to 60 hours in of just like solo queue, and that is fun to me. And usually that's a hard thing to say in some of these competitive 5v5 FPSs. So definitely go check it out. Really good game. It's a great price right now. I think you would really enjoy it. Get some buddies together and have a good time. Let's hop into the game.
60 hours are quite rookie numbers compared to some of these players we're going to be seeing today.
Amen. I'm just trying to do my homework, at least know the basics, okay? Something that brought me to this game, like I said, is it's just very, very fun to just jump right into. You kind of have to get an idea of how the weapons feel, but like I said, if you're a person that's played FPS their whole life, you're already gonna get an understanding of how some of these guns work. Obviously, like your SMGs, you got your DMRs, shotguns, close range pistols, and you got like a shorty shotgun in this game too, which is super fun to play with. But I think, like, again, that's what drew me to the game. The gunplay is fun. The game is fast-paced, but also slow and strategic. It's got a really nice mix of things to kind of keep you engaged. And the art style is just fun, man. Like, the art style is just really fun. So, yeah.
It is. And the soundtrack is also very good. We might be praising it a bit too much here, but it's a good game. It definitely is, especially if you can get it on a sale. They occasionally go on sales. It was for under $1, I believe, like 70 cents here. That's such a steal. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got it for like $2.50, dude, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the best $2.50 I've ever spent, like, in the last couple years. So, like I said, go ahead and go pick that game up, because it's gonna allow you to just get into that mode again where you can just like focus on your gunplay, not worry about all this extra crazy crap going on around you. You just lock in, and if you have 4 other buddies to play with, hey, you get a little 5-stack going, right? Get a little 5-stack going, awesome strats, feel like a real gamer, get in there. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Great co-op game, definitely. At first, the guns might actually feel a bit clunky because they're not as responsive. It's kind of the game's way of telling you to take it slow, but what we'll be seeing today is that the players really know their way around the weapons and can take it really fast, even with the difficult handling that some of them have.
Yeah, And the other thing is too is I feel like the defense is a lot more dynamic in the way that you can set up the round for your team, just because the barbed wires are just so deadly, man. If you get stuck on a door and there's a barbed wire on the side, you better hope you have a grenade to clear that out and clear whoever's sitting on it, man, because that is nasty. Okay.
Both teams have a lot of tools, a lot of nasty tools. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to, like,
Definitely.
again, I want to see the protocols. A lot of FPSs that you look at, attack shooters that you see nowadays, if a team is good, they will always have really, really nice protocols. And you saw that last game from Arise. They really put on a good showing of how you should be playing defense in this game and put on a clinic. Even Jet, who is a renowned player, seems pretty good, and a couple other the players on the team were just getting shut down on that attack. There was no space. They were literally choking for air, trying to find a spearhead into the map. So I want to see what these teams do.
Those players have studied those maps carefully and have made the absolute most optimal strat to just make it as difficult for the attackers to get in as they possibly can. And it shows. These players we're gonna have this match are likely gonna do the same. And I'm very curious to learn, because like you said, I'm new as well, so it's always great to see really experienced players take the lead and actually put up a performance.
Yeah, and we saw Jet kind of on some interesting angles where they were actually, trying to post up on these weird angles outside of Bank and trying to look down into tellers, trying to find a pick. Stuff like that really is going to show once we get these matchups between really, really experienced teams, on both sides. So again, I'm just really excited to see what these teams kind of show us on these maps, what they prepared, or maybe not even what they prepared, but I just want to see him frag out, man. I just want to see him go freaking crazy, peek the corner with a shotgun. I don't care if a barbed wire's there. What's barbed wire? Like, just jump in there, get a couple kills.
It's exactly how I play. Like, it's a tactical shooter, but I just like to go in with a flashbang and a shotgun and just see who I can get.
Yeah,
Which it is a valid strat. Like, if you think about it, it is a strat, just taking your enemy by surprise. Fast movement. Basically a blitzkrieg.
Oh, literally. And when you're setting up all that utility up, man, you feel a little cozy at the start of the round on defense. And then before you know it, there's a dude that's in your earlobe with a shotgun in there. So yeah, you got to be ready for those pushes.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen people who actually are still placing down barbed wire whilst I'm already in the building shooting at them.
Yeah, it's a scary feeling, and that's the best way in some of these very competitive lobbies, obviously with these setup teams. It's a really good way to kind of throw a good player off of their kind of zone that they get into. Like, if you're super comfortable and you're feeling good about your team and where you're at in your positioning, you're probably going to play a lot better. But like I said, when you have those fast pushes, it kind of can throw a lot of plans out of the door. So yeah, people kind of got to be on their toes. They got to be looking for util to throw and use it correctly for your team, right? Like, it's a team-based game, right? At the end of the day, it's a team-based game. Got to do things that are going to put your team in good positions to make plays.
Exactly, that's exactly right. Even if you die, if you do something that's for the greater good, you can still push the enemy team. Ooh, and it looks like we're on Kill Dome.
It looks like we're getting right in here, and something that I really like about this map is that Beach is such a fun place to watch go down, because if there's a lot of defenders posted up on base and there's a lot of people coming over that beach wall, it can be an absolutely crazy fight. And it looks like they're actually going to be putting some barbed wire down there too to try to slow down a potential push from Beach. And it looks like they're kind of starting to set up here. I see that there's some marks by some of the attackers, trying to see what kind of stuff they can post up on that beach as well.
They seem to be planning to breach into castle using a door charge and having the Saber sniper rifle set up on beach to look deep into jungle. I've actually played on this map before, and on the little outpost tower where they're placing that exclamation mark on the right, the defenders can set up with their own sniper rifle to counter the entirety of beach. We will be seeing if they are able to take castle, which is quite mandatory to get a safe passage into jungle because of those windows. That's kind of their make it or break it point. If they manage to get castle, they get control of jungle. And if they don't, that's going to be the end.
Yeah, that's going to be really rough. And I really like this position on jungle, these little platforms that you can get up on, the crossfires that you can get on defense with like a DMR sniper. All those weapons are so good for these cross map angles. And this is actually a really interesting setup that they're going to go for on the defense. They're going to try to hold that bottom side of the map control and kind of leave the top a little bit more open, because Exo, is that how you say his name? Ikuzo is going to be posted up on that long angle, kind of watching that beach push. So I really like the way they're set up here.
Yep.
It looks like they're pushing out of vehicle right now towards beach. And they're going to open that door up, and they're going to probably flood out. I want to see what kind of smokes are thrown here.
The first smoke is...
open yet. There we go. Molly going down. Goon. Jefter takes a ton of damage from that too. Now they're on beach. 3 of them on beach. We got Sinister posted up here in Castle. We're going to see what he can do. They're looking for angles here on the beach to try to make a play, but it's going to be really difficult with that Castle window kind of peeking down on the beach. Oh, Tempo pushing in. Jefter gets destroyed. Nomad is playing that angle perfectly. Let's see if he can get another one here. Machina getting absolutely destroyed as well. Nomad tucking in the water. Jack is going to take a lot of fire from this angle. Oh my god, he goes absolutely crazy there. Jack gets traded. Oh my gosh, this is a really... Oh, Sinister just takes out him. Roach is also close to the bomb, posted up, ready for Tempo to push up. He's the last one, but he gets traded out. The defense played that perfectly.
Very well played of the defense. The mob position exactly deep in the tower. That should have been the main priority of the Saber, but the Sabers didn't seem to get the chance to take him out. Castle push, too many losses. Wasn't played as they wanted it to. It's a shame. It's a shame. Or well, for the defenders, it's a great victory. They have 4 people left, which means a lot of resources into the next map.
And again, for anyone that's new to this game that's watching right now, all the util that you don't use carries on into these other rounds if you survive. And also being able to pick up the attacker's equipment is huge too, after such a decisive victory like that, because there's a lot of your players that can actually go and pick up that util and carry it into the next round.
Ikazo, the defender, actually picked up the clacker, which is the device used to detonate explosives from the attackers, and he can use it to detonate explosives which the defenders are still placing on the door, potentially killing 1 or multiple people. This is extremely strong and can basically deny them entire doors and passageways, but he seems to be saving it for the next round, which is the last on their defender side.
Yeah, again, that if that's used correctly and actually deposited in the defender-sided like cache, that is going to be a really nasty tool for these other maps where some of the choke points really rely on you opening up those red doors. And that clacker sitting on those doors, man, as we know, you can easily kill someone trying to throw a charge on those doors with that clacker on the defensive side.
Definitely, it completely destroys the attacker's plan, and saving it on this one is probably smart, since the attackers know they've lost the clacker and are likely going for a green door without using any explosives. The green door is barbed. They seem to be want to go cut the bars in front of the window at checkpoint to get access to lockers. This is a nasty close range map, and they are taking out shotguns, especially the defenders with a fully automatic shotgun.
Yeah, and we saw that in the previous game. That automatic shotgun in a smoke is so freaking deadly, and I want to see how they utilize it in this round, because there's so many close angles on this map, man.
Kill House is definitely a bloodbath.
Yeah, it can get really chaotic. And speaking of chaotic, there's 2 defensive players posted up in this window trying to see if they can get an early pick, and Drakon gets sniped right off the bat. He's dead. One of his teammates is trying to swing. J&G, he's looking into the window, looking for the fight. It looks like the attackers are actually going to just fully take over this space as the defenders give up and retreat into the next room. Stacked over towards crates and office. Sinister here, looking to see if he can get a crossfire. And they're kind of slowing the round down here. And that's what I was talking about. These defenders, it's okay to slow the round down, but we need to make sure that we're being concise with our protocols and taking space. And they're doing just that. Mel, close to the door, looking for another fight. Jefter also pushing in. Lockers taken by the attackers. Nomad's pushed back on an angle. He's on the pallets. It looks like, again, the round is slowing down. They're slowing down, looking for a kill, looking for space. Hungry for a kill. Roach is going to push in with the auto. Shoddy doesn't give anything. No, Roach gets treated out. Tempo pushing down hallway. G and J also killed. Jeffter coming for support. Mel also pushing up on Nomad. Nomad's pushed all the way in backstage. Mel has got to move here. There's 40 seconds left. Machina also on Hall. There's 3 players towards this bomb site. This is so dangerous for the attackers. Nomad's not going to give up that space. He's kind of spraying into this angle. Mel is going to peek the angle with a shotgun. Doesn't get anything for it. Jeffter also there. Machina getting sprayed through the wall. Gets punished for it. Jeffter's the last one alive. 19 seconds left. Nomad on the crossfire. Shooting the wall. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He's suffocated. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do here except for sit and save. He gets a kill for it. Jacked with the trade. Nice round by the defense to take that.
Immensely well played. The attackers really slowed down their push, which is not what they want. The defenders played it well and actually started wall banging and just holding angles because, you know, they're defending. And the attackers didn't know what to do. The shotgun was just idling. Should have probably pushed a bit more aggressive, but the defenders actually kept up pressure by wall banging. Really well played.
Yeah, that was really well played. And it's, again, something to note. The protocols are what make these teams good. The defense understands that these rooms can no longer be held because the angles that are being held and the crossfires that are being held. So they just concede it. Give it up, back up, regroup, and make sure you're using the right amount of util to slow the round down and make the attack nervous. Make them make a sketchy play. Allow them to only play on that side of the map that you're giving them and really hold down on what you have. And I think they're doing that really, really well to a T.
The attackers did use a grenade last round, which seemed like a waste, but it's actually better to just use it instead of dying with it and giving the defenders a very, very powerful weapon. This round, they seem to be wanting to enter through office and use a wall charge into Liquor, which gives them access to arcade where the light button is, and actually access to bomb. It's a very short, very aggressive push, which, if executed fast, gives them the bomb before the defenders have any time to react and actually group up, push into Liquor. However, the defenders might be aware of that and bring their Klecker. We'll see who's going to take the Klecker.
And honestly, on this map, it's something to note as well. If you look at the bathroom, that area of the map can be very dangerous for the defenders. And I always see teams putting barbed wire in both those green doors. So I want to see how they play that. And again, I want to see how this defense concedes space, regroups, plays together, looks for fights that are favorable, you know?
Yeah. They actually seem to have brought the Dawn, which is a very interesting pick, as it isn't in the best spot right now, but does have immensely high wall banging potential. And although not many walls in C-Store are wall bangable, we'll see how it backs out.
Yeah, let's see where it goes.
They've also seemed to have left the Klecker behind, interestingly.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to opt for that smoke on bathroom windows, and the door is now open on bathrooms, and you can see the defense is actually pivoting towards the other side of the map because office is open. They've taken the space so fast. But as you can see, the defenders are still ready for it, posted up on the back side of the map, storefront. The main area that they're going to be holding, bathroom still smoked off, no one's playing there. Util getting thrown towards arcade to kind of maybe fake something. Wall gets opened up in Liquor. Liquor crossfire goes crazy. G&J killed. Sinister Loaf getting a big pick there to start off. And this is a great spot for the attack to kind of slow down, look at what their options are, and try to think about how they're going to get someone onto that bomb and take these fights. The lights are off now too. That adds another layer to this.
Not everybody on attack actually grabbed their night vision. Ooh, mistakes.
Yeah, this actually might make it a lot harder for the attack. The defense is posted up in some really good spots. I want to note Sinister Loaf's positioning. He's over a barbed wire right now, holding tellers, and this cross is holding them from actually going into Liquor. And G&J gets killed for it. Pushing into Liquor though, Molly goes out, Mel pushing deep. Gefter gets killed. Mel's also taking a ton of damage. He's into Arcade looking for Jack. Jack's posted up though. He wants to fight it. Mel goes back. Liquor getting crossfired now. Machina pushing in. Bomb. They're gonna get on it. Oh, the defense holds it down. Nice though. And the only person left is Dracone. I have no idea what he's doing. He's sitting down back here with an SMG. The bomb is imminent for detonation. Oh, Jack, nice kill. Nice crossfire across the map. Again, perfect round from the defense.
Extremely well played. They knew they just had to sit back, just hold angles. The bomb was in a really nasty position for the attackers. I think turning off the light actually helps them because it shortens the range the few the defenders have on the bomb. But they should have probably kept the smoke for that.
Yeah, I was kind of confused when we saw those smokes go out around the map. I kind of feel like that was kind of a bad way to use that smoke near Arcade. You didn't have any players playing near there, and that really could have been used to stick the bomb, honestly. I really think it could have.
Yeah, definitely agree. The defenders also just sat around even after the Molotov cleared. Although they had flashbangs and equipment ready to push into different rooms, they just didn't know how to respond to that, wasting valuable time, forcing them to make not the best decisions later on. This match seems to be more of the same. The attackers wanting to enter castle, but instead of blowing it, they're going for a slow cutting torch. Defenders setting up the mob in the sniper position. Lusters are great. What does it say?
These guys are writing some crazy stuff today. Okay, man, this is not a good idea. This is like giving a classroom full of 5-year-olds some Sharpies and say, "Hey kids, go ahead and draw on the wall. Whatever you want, go ahead and put it on the wall over there." That's a pretty equivalent to what this is. So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, we got a guy with Gooner at the end of his name, or Goon. That's, you know, it's a little edgy out here. It's a little silly out here.
Edgy players, edgy plays, definitely.
100%. And we want to see more of those edgy plays. Speaking of the attack, when they're getting aggressive, I really feel like if you're going to have someone like Jerkon on the last round with an SMG, you really need to be dedicating those players to swinging in, taking those fights off of all of that contact in the util, because as soon as that util's gone, man, and you're stuck, it's really hard to take map control. It's very difficult. Especially against these teams that have these really good protocols and the ability to slow down the round. You need to be doing everything perfectly on the attack.
Definitely. The last minute is now the attacking team, and they need to make some way because they are 0-3 behind. No, they're 0-3 in front. I mean, Tempo is defending. They need to catch up. Now is their chance.
Yeah, and last minute here is doing really, really freaking good, man. They're doing a great job, and it looks like they're going to be taking beach, but lights go off there. Switch has been pulled very early on that mound. Nomad, Jack, Akezo, Roach, everyone's here. Everyone is here for the B execute. Machina doing some crossfire. JNG's also very close here. He could... Oh, but he gets absolutely taken out by Nomad on the nasty crossfire. Akezo also gets killed. They're all still posted up on beach. They're just taking these gunfights, and they're actually doing a good job. Trade's going in the favor of last minute. Jack actually pushing into that castle room, looking for this next kill. Dracone is here, but no one knows. There's no info on him. This angle might be getting swung. Roach is actually going to post up on it. He's looking for a kill. Nomad with another kill. They have castle control. The map is opened up, but they know about Dracone. He's behind them. The distraction coming from Mel could be huge for Dracone. And smoke going down over towards jungle to cut off that sight line. The attack is piercing through the map. This is where he can make his play. This is where Dracone can go crazy. He needs to have the right timing though, because Mel's taken out and the bomb's open. What is he doing actually? The timing has been missed and the bomb's getting defused. Does he have time for this? If he has time for this, it would be absolutely disgusting. And no, he does not. That was a huge gamble, and I think it was played incorrectly there, but that was so close from Dracone. He could have had so much, but he only got so little on that round, and his team was left out dry.
Good try, good try. The defenders turned off the lights to prevent the attackers from using the button to lower the drawbridge, but that did blind their own sniper. The attacking sniper, the Saber, actually has night vision on it, whilst the defender sniper doesn't. And as we saw, that makes sniping a whole lot more difficult.
And that's a huge shout, and they're actually going to carry that sniper over into the next round that has that night vision. So again, another powerful weapon that's being cycled back into the next round, and it kind of is a snowball effect, right? You have these teams that play really well, bring this util back to their cache, and they're utilizing it just in the right way to get through and win these matches.
I'm curious because they did save their explosive charge, so they're either planning on using a lot later on in the match, or just didn't want the off chance of the defenders securing a clacker. It seems like they really aggressively want to push into club. They might forfeit checkpoint altogether and use a door charge. Yeah, I think they're using a door charge to get into backstage through club and secure the bomb that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of options on this map, I feel like, for the attackers, but also for the defense. If you have a team that can play around these fire extinguishers correctly with a shotgun, it's so dangerous to push into crates. It's so dangerous to push into office. And look at all these angles through hall. Look at all these little spots that you can crouch up, wait for the enemy team to push past, and absolutely go crazy with a short range gun. Again, I want to see how these teams utilize it. I want to see what they're going to do here to kind of execute on this map.
Definitely. I think it's a good choice. The defenders are taking a lot of shotguns, and I think that's the right play, and the attackers should do something similar. If the defenders just get one good hit with that shotgun, the attackers are gone, and the SMGs don't have the time to kill to compete with that.
Exactly. And I want to, like I said, we're going to see how this plays out, because if you run into those shotguns and you kind of start to get slowed down by the momentum of the game, what are you meant to do? And it looks like a clacker will be brung out with a charge to open up this red door on backstage. Dracone's pushed up on it. He's going to push into the smoke, though. Looking for some damage, but Dracone actually gives it up. He reposts back up on the lockers on backstage. Efter's here to back him up. He's on the doorway. They're getting in. Backstage is open. Roach takes the fight, swings him, takes out Dracone. The SMG wins that fight. They're looking to push this area of the map. Club is getting opened up now. If this cross line gets opened up, perfect. Club is taken, flashbang out. Jack and Sinister and Ikazo are in here, though. They're very close to the bomb now, and that space is being taken, but Machina is on a really nice crossfire on this hallway door. If he can just get up. Roach is actually on another good angle to stop him from doing that, though. After gets another kill, too, here with the shotgun. Mel is in a really good spot if he takes this fight right now. Jack is turning around, but he doesn't notice. Tempo's got to kick open this door and do something. He gets one for it. Nomad takes out Machina. Roach coming back down, repositioning. Sinister Loaf also repositioning. This round is going to get really chaotic here in a moment if these teams don't speed up. There's 40 seconds left.
They need to push, but only have one flashbang through barbed wire. That's dangerous.
Ooh, and the nade goes out. They're pushing in, looking for a pick. J&G gets killed. They both get traded out, and the attack is clean with it. Absolutely disgusting work.
Beautifully played. Absolutely great push. Great push.
What did you think about some of those SMGs actually being able to take those fights against the shotguns? Like you said, man, you have to take those opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. The thing with a shotgun is you do have to hit. Like, once you miss, that's your shotgun. At that point, the SMG will win the trade, especially since the attackers have 50 more HP than the defenders. It's a hit or miss, and sadly the defenders missed a bit too much this round.
missing they did, and that actually puts our teams here in kind of a weird spot. I believe it's last minute that's up 5-0, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
last minute
here.
is really pushing for that 7-0 victory. Ooh, we are.
I want to take account of real quick is I feel like I said, these rounds where you are able to just retain all your utility, you can really snowball if you play correctly, and we're seeing it tonight. We're seeing these teams really take advantage of that, and man, I can tell you this: last minute is looking really, really nice.
Yeah, yeah. The defenders are probably expecting a office push, but the attackers are actually going really aggressive through entrance and freezer, which I think is the correct play. By clearing storefront, they can safely get into liquor without worrying about those nasty angles shooting into bomb. Going for arcade also gets you the light switch, and I believe the attackers do still have a couple of night vision goggles left. Going in with Roach securing a defender shotgun, Nomad having the attacker shotgun. It's just going to be carnage if they played well.
Yeah, again, let's see what they do here. I feel like this map is also very easy to take on the attack if you open up entrance and you hold these crossfires on storefront, because if you look at the map, I mean, there is some extremity to run through, like freezer to arcade, arcade to liquor, right? You can kind of bounce around, but if you take that storefront, that takes out a lot of rotations that the defenders can do.
Yeah, if you hold storefront and you make sure nobody's in freeze and arcade, which might be one person stuck up in there, then they can't get to you. You can just defuse the bomb. They have to walk all the way through bathroom or teller behind those counters and get to you from a long distance. That's probably why the attackers opted to get the Saber, Ingmar, and other mid to long range weapons out, just to hold that specific angle, just to prevent them from pushing up.
Yeah, and we're going to see right here on the X at the bottom of the map on entrance, it looks like they are actually going to open it up, and someone's already posted up on it with the AK. Jack is actually going to hold this wall, and Mel killed himself. That's a huge misplay.
No.
That's a huge misplay.
Oh.
And Machina going down too. The defense is already falling apart. We're not even that far into the round. We're already up in entrance. Storefront space is being conceded here. Dracon also taken out by Kazo. Jack also on the angle. Sinister Loaf. There's only 2 defenders left. This is falling apart so fast, but can they hold? Jefters holding tellers with his life. Gian's Jefter absolutely destroyed, and the attackers are just having a field day with it, man. Absolutely destroyed. And it all started with that misplay from Mel. I wish we got a replay on that. That was something else.
Yeah,
there was a hardware there. There was a molly. What's going on over there, man?
What happened? Was he just low and he got nicked by the molly, or did he just completely misplay that?
So this guy right here is a silly guy. That was a silly guy.
That's a shame. The defenders did some questionable strats. The Dawn and Freezer can work out, but against a seasoned attacking team like this, they're just gonna wait out until you stop firing, get close, and in close range, face-to-face combat, the Dawn isn't going to win. Very well played by the attackers, exactly opening up storefront, just preventing any possible rotation from the defenders.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate, man. Killing yourself with a molly has got to feel so bad.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty freaking rough.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see the playback for that, because
I want to see the play-by-play. I want to see the comms video come out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All the swearing.
I want to see all the swearing. Yeah. And it looks like, actually, if we look towards the map right now, the attackers are actually starting to ping out some entries on Red Door on the south side of the map on sorting.
Yeah, very interesting. Finally, a new map for the last round, or well, possibly the last round. Factory, long sidelines, bright lights, many entry points, many nooks and crannies you can hide away in. Surfers seem to be hosting the light switch, but that's quite far away. Needs to cross the entirety of Converge to get there. Seems like they might just want to blow into sorting. Use a wall charge somewhere where I haven't seen it before.
That looks very strange. I've never seen it before either.
wondering how that's going to play out. The defenders seem to be really focusing on Toxic for some reason, although I've played this map and Toxic pushes never really work out for me.
And I'm curious if Office is maybe the goal of holding Toxic is, if you give up that office space, it opens up the whole map for an attacker to really put some sight lines down to people that are embedded in the map. So I want to see what that's about.
Well, the office does have a window, but that's just mainly facing towards servers and whatnot. It doesn't actually give that many good angles onto bomb, if any at all. And the only door is through Toxic. So they either got to jump out of the window or Toxic. I think the defenders might be... Yeah, but
angles, these are nasty.
The angles are only to the left side of the map. If the attackers aren't to the left side,
I wonder if someone was going to post up in server farm then and maybe take this door here, open up this part of the map as well. They're going to actually go for opening up sorting like we saw early in the map. They were putting down that charge signal there, and Dracone's actually going to secede the space and back up with his longer range weapon.
Smart.
Molly going out. Like I said, those Molly and barbed wire combos are actually super nasty.
It is a bad Molly though, sadly.
Yeah, it didn't go as far as he expected, but again, they're still stacked up on this door. Roach and Jack actually pushing in, sorting being taken from the enemy team. The defenders do have Dracone though posted up on this really good angle here on docks, and if he can get value out of this, it could slow them down. Looks like Nomad is already in server farm, so taking that space like we talked about, but it looks like Machina actually knows about it on those barrels, and Jack gets a pick here on Dracone, and that actually opens up docks completely. The bomb is so close now. Nomad is actually backed up here on server farm, looking for another kill. The cross map fire is crazy though. Jack gets another pick on Gefter. No, that's Sinister Loaf. That's
the game.
That's GG.
That's the game. Wow.
Man, I don't know what to say. Last minute looks absolutely insane, man. 7-0 in this tournament is actually huge.
7-0. They played it beautifully. Like the plan was just executed to perfection. That wall charge was actually really, really good. Yeah, great results. Wow. It sucks to beat the defenders right there.
Yeah, honestly, I think that a lot of people are going to have to start looking back at VODs and saying, hey, man, what are we doing here? What's going on? It's early on in the season, people are just getting their teams together. They might not have a complete understanding of what the goal is of the round, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the protocols are key. You saw them execute. Even on the attack rounds, they were so clean with it. You saw them peek in, trust your teammate behind you to throw that util or kind of cover your crossfire and push in and get those picks so you can take the map space. So that was really nice, execution by that team to really just go in there and get it done.
Yeah, especially the way they won as well. They didn't win like with one guy left or two guys left. They won with 4 or 5 people still alive, which gives them a massive head start for the next map. So yeah, like you said, snowball effect, and they played it beautifully. They used their resources very well. They pushed in. Yeah, great strats, great results.
And going into the rest of the day too, or the rest of this tournament, I'm really curious to see what some of these other teams' kind of mindset is too, on how they're gonna confront some of these teams like last minute that look so good, And Arise showed us some stuff too, but last minute probably looks the best that I've seen as of the day, of course. So yeah, that was a really, really good game.
Yeah, I'm glad to see the plays that were made. I'm also curious to look back on this match and keep an eye on some particular players, see how they play, what their skills are. Like I said, I've seen Roach before from last minute, and he is a great player. Shout out to Roach.
Shout out Roach, man. You're holding it down.
Shout out Roach. Yeah, definitely.
Also, real quick, we haven't reminded you guys, Due Process, you can get it right now on Steam. Like I said, it's a great game. You've been watching this gameplay. The rounds are action-packed. The swings, the mollies, all the crazy stuff going on. It's super hectic, but it's still super fun, man. Go ahead and check it out. Really good price.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we will be back next weekend, same time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been an absolute amazing opportunity to be here with you guys. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. This game has so much potential, man. And we just can't wait to build a good community with you guys. And yeah, have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.